Wrap it in a sigh. Are we live? Soak it in the sun and make a groovy lemon pie. The Candyman, the Candyman, oh, the Candyman can. That's that Donald J. Trump, man. The man can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. You remember Donald Trump said that he wanted the DACA bill to be a bill of love. Remember, a bill of love. We want it to be a bill of love. Wow. Beneath the dishes. Yes, that Donald Trump's the Candyman. He's giving out tax breaks. He's giving out tax breaks. He is cutting regulations. He is giving the military the biggest raise in 8 years. The Candyman. I'm going to write that for Donald. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, because he writes a DACA bill and mixes it with love. I got to stop. I'm going to write this song for Donald J. Trump. I am. Who's giving out tax breaks? How in the world are all these corporations, so many, giving $1,000 bonuses? The military has received the largest pay increase in 8 years. Here you go. No, wait, I'm your host, BKP. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? In 2018, military pay raise is the biggest in 8 years. It is, what, 2.4%. Congressional lawmakers are boasting that the recent passed fiscal 28 defense authorization bill has the largest pay raise for troops in the past 8 years. But that has less to do with newfound generosity among lawmakers and more to do with the expected raise, okay? Including, let's see, Donald J. Trump, included in a massive budget bill finalized by the Senate November 16th and expected to be signed into law by President Donald Trump in coming days, is a 2.4% pay raise for service members starting January 1st. Okay, this bill was November 20th last year. They don't talk about this. Okay, the military, all right, has not seen this kind of pay raise in 8 years. I know I keep going on and on about that. So let me tell you what. I'm going to answer my first question. All right. Donald J. Trump is the first that can let the government shut down. And the media, no matter how much they try, cannot pin it on him. He will not get the blame. Okay? He will not get the blame. America will let the president shut the country down. Now, don't get nervous. But here is the DACA, all right? Sam, now this is a 2-minute video, folks. And I really think it's worth the video because I think it's worth you watching to see the heartstrings. And I'm going to go somewhere with this, okay? This is what the heartstrings. Tearing families apart. You keep hearing about that. So the media rushes up in Detroit, MSNBC, CNN, they're all covering this. All the left is covering this. They rush up to Detroit yesterday to do this story about this poor guy that's being ripped from his family. And this is why we need to do something. This is not a... Mike Barnacle said, and what the hell is a barnacle? Barnacle says this morning on MSNBC, this is not America. Play that video. It's worth the worst. Stay with it. Play with it.
Family torn apart after a man living here in Michigan for nearly 30 years is deported. It's a story trending all over social media tonight and making national headlines. 7 Action News reporter Brianne Palmerini standing by live with their emotional story tonight. Brianne?
Well, Stephen, Jorge Garcia had been living in the United States since he was 10 years old, and he was 39 years old today when he was deported. He was just 1 year too young to be qualified under DACA. He has a wife and 2 kids. They are both U.S. citizens, and he has been working for the last decade to become a citizen. This is video from this morning as ICE agents made sure Garcia boarded a plane to Mexico. His family gathered around him with tears and hugs, supporters holding signs saying, "Stop separating families." Jorge's wife Cindy says the moment didn't feel real until the ICE agents stepped up to take him.
That's when the tears just started flowing, because we knew that that was going to be it. There wasn't much more that we could do.
Garcia's wife Cindy says for the last 13 years, Jorge has been checking in with ICE and working on finding a path to citizenship.
In total, we have given immigration over $125,000.
She says their family got some bad legal advice, it set them back, and they've continued to check in and apply for extensions to find that path.
We've never done anything without permission from immigration, because anytime you leave the city, you have to tell them where you are going.
But this last time the family checked in, immigration agents told the Garcia family he would have to leave on January 15th. His wife Cindy says Jorge has no criminal record, not even a traffic ticket. His family is devastated. He's leaving behind a 12-year-old son, Jorge Jr., and 15-year-old daughter, Soleil.
It's a nightmare. They're sad, they're depressed. They don't really comprehend everything that's going on. All they know is that their dad is gone, and they don't know when they're going to see him again.
Jorge is now in Mexico City. His wife says she's working to bring him back to the United States, but it could be 18 months before he even gets a hearing at the consulate. Now, our newsroom did contact the local immigration office, and agents there said they couldn't comment on this case tonight. Live in Southfield, Brianne Pomerini, 7 Action News.
A lot of families hoping there's going to be some sort of solution soon.
Yeah, we'll keep track on this, Brianne. Thank you for the report on that.
Living in fear, folks, living in fear. Now, that is what they are rushing to bring you, living in fear. There needs to be, they're screaming, we need a new DACA deal now. Now, Jorge is 10 years old when he comes here, and he is not able to apply for DACA because he just missed the cutoff, okay? He just missed the cutoff. That is what they are trying to give you. They run to the colleges, and they find the kids in college, okay? They find the kids in college. They run there. They run to the airport, and we're ripping people from their families. Now, why is Dad? Because I'm going to explain this, and you better pay attention. Why is this video so powerful? Because the truth in that meeting the other day is what they want, what Dick Durbin wants. I told you, put up David Perdue and Tom Cotton, okay? Now, they came out and defend the president for this reason. They're being called liars today. Now, I do not know how you could elevate David Perdue and Tom Cotton, especially, this is the guy to the right. Tom Cotton is former military. Don't know all the background, but I remember Tom Cotton, former military. David Perdue to the left, a very successful businessman, Dollar General, a very successful businessman in his life. But the character of these two guys are head and shoulders above the guy that stood one day and called your military men and women Nazis. All right, that was Dick Durbin. Remember that? Nazis, equal to Nazis, okay? Don't forget that, folks. All right, the military knows that. There's a couple things the military, they don't come out with strong comments, but they know. All right, they'll never forget who Jane Fonda is, okay? It doesn't matter how many surgeries Jane Fonda has had, no matter how she fixes her hair. Vietnam vets will never forget, and the military will never forget who Jane Fonda is. The military knows Dick Durbin is not the one that advocated for their first pay raise in 8 years, okay? They know Dick Durbin's the one that came out of the meeting and equated them to Nazis, okay? So anyhow, David Perdue and Tom Cotton basically come out, and they did not lie. Basically what they're saying, and I'm paraphrasing, is, you know what, this was a meeting that had very good substance, that was on target, and there was really nothing being said that normally doesn't get said in a meeting, okay? And you're saying, oh, they normally call Haiti and Africa, you know, bad words or whatever. No. Here's what these two guys are trying to save us from. Here's what Kevin McCarthy is trying, and I mean save us from, okay? And this is ripping families apart. I told you, put Dick Durbin up. I got to move on from this, but I got to be clear one more day, because they're playing the race card and the SHIT card over and over and over. What I got to remind you of is now the media is coming out and supporting the Joe Scarboroughs and Minka and CNN. They're all coming out and supporting and saying, we just have to have a clean DACA deal. Nothing else will work. Nothing else will prove that Trump's not a racist if it's not a clean DACA deal. Let me explain the Detroit video with dad being ripped and living apart, living in fear, and dad being ripped away from his family. They do not want, okay, stay with me, they do not want to make a deal for the children. They want to make a deal for the children and their parents. Don't forget that. This is not a clean DACA deal. That's what they're calling it. You see, I told you yesterday, if mom and dad cross the border, and don't think that the mom and dad that crossed the border do not know they broke the law, because they were instructed on the proper areas to go, or the best areas to go along our southern border to enter, not being noticed. They knew when to run. They knew when to hide. They knew when to do it at dark. They knew when to run as a group. They knew all of this. Mom and dad knew they were breaking the law. Just like when you walk in and you steal something, do something, if you're going up 515, maybe some of you ladies should listen. I know one or two of you might do it. If you're going up 515 at 85 miles an hour, you know it's 55 or 65. You know that when you're going up there. These people knew they were breaking the law. So they got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. So they're in the back seat of the car. I know you don't like the way I put this, because there's some of you out there that does not want to have any compassion at all about any of it, and I'm good with that. That doesn't upset me. Speed limit's 55. You're going up there 90 miles an hour. You're endangering the kids. They're in the back seat, all right? And guess what? You get pulled over, and the officer does not give the 3 kids in the back a ticket. He gives you a ticket. You're the one that broke the law, whatever. The kids aren't driving. Now, I know the argument, but they broke the law. I know the argument, but let's stay focused, all right? But the Democrats do not want to do any kind of deal for the 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old that's now adults. They don't want a clean DACA deal. They want mom and dad. They want the people that were speeding. They want the people that actually broke the law to get a free green card into this country. That's what they want. The second thing, Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. I got so much to go over, but I got to put this back into perspective. Senator Rand Paul, let's say we bring 1 million immigrants legally into this country a year. Let's say that's what we have, 1 million. Senator Rand Paul says, okay, I will compromise on a DACA deal, not for the mom and dad, for the 3 kids that were in the back seat when they were caught speeding. I'll compromise on a deal for them, the 2-year-old, 4-year-old, and 6-year-old. But here's what I'm doing, not mom and dad, but here's what I'm doing. We'll take, there's 800,000 dreamers, or DACA, I don't like to call them dreamers, there's 800,000. We'll take 200,000 a year and apply those to the million. Oh, no, we want our million plus the 200,000. They're voters. So don't fall for them saying a clean DACA deal, and that's why they're playing Jorge got ripped from his family, is because that's what those mean Republicans and Donald Trump want to do, is rip the mom and dad from the family. Now, the other thing I want to be clear on, notice how the media frames it. Now, I'm going to put up a picture, see if you remember this, okay? And I don't know all the details, so don't yell at me about I did not get the facts correct. But put up Michael Brown. Remember this? There's Michael, right? Why, the only picture the media seemed to be able to find of this thug, okay, this thug that was smoking a blunt or whatever, or stealing cigars so they can plug them out and put marijuana in them, right? The only picture the media was able to find is Michael's graduation picture. Remember, they wanted to present us the Michael, the community, the kid that went to high school, that graduated, that was everybody's friend. They did not put up the picture of the thug that went in the convenience store. They did not put up the picture of the thug that went after the police officer. This seemed to be the only one they can find. And the only reason I did this is because the media, they lie so bad. The only pictures they find of the DACA kids are the kids in the college. And Jorge, the hard worker that paid his taxes for things. That's the only ones they seem to be able to find. Is those kids that are they are top of the class. That's all they can find. Out of the 800, you do a search, because we don't have time, you do a search of out of the 800,000 or 700,000, how many that are in the deferred action for these children, how many are drug gang members, drug dealers, how many are living off the system? Go look up all of these. The media wants you to believe that these are the 700,000 best that we could ever bring into this country. And that's why we need a clean deal, because these are just poor children that will be ripped away from mom and dad, and mom and dad will be sent home. And I don't know how Jorge is, but he's in Mexico City. Okay, I'm for sure he can find a job there, because we shipped all of our damn jobs down there. So I'm for sure Jorge could get a job maybe easier in Mexico City than he could have in Detroit. I don't know. Just pay attention, folks, okay? Really quick, I want to go through something here. Let me show you a couple pictures. Put up Eric Erickson's quote, and I just want to say this out loud. Eric Erickson, shut up. We know you don't like Donald Trump. You don't like anything about Donald Trump. Anytime you can say anything. Eric Erickson, it's weird that the people in the room don't remember Trump using the word when Trump himself was calling out friends to brag about it afterward. I spoke to one of those friends. President throughout it play well with his base. Okay, so leave that. Eric Erickson, I hope on your show you're actually discussing what I did and the meat of what's going on in these meetings and why we don't have a DACA deal and why we don't have an immigration deal because of the Democrats. I wish you would do that and lying Dick Durbin. But I don't think that your tweet helps anything further. You know, that's all I'm saying. Shut up, Eric. All right, I want to get that out. I just wanted to tell Eric to shut up. What's the other one I have here? We've looked at lying Dick Durbin. Cotton and Perdue. Did you put those pictures up? We've had those pictures up. Tom Cotton and David Perdue. I think that's about it. All right. Do you think, all right, a shutdown. First of all, we cannot have a DACA deal, okay, without the four pillars or the pillars of immigration that, you know, Chief of Staff John Kelly, Tom Cotton, McCarthy, Rand Paul, David Perdue. We can't have it without chain migration stopping, okay? Every aunt and uncle, you know, the DACA deal, what they want is every aunt and uncle included, every friend, every cousin, okay? It's worse than a cell phone plan. You know the cell phone plan that you go and you get family and friend cell phone plan? That's what they want on the DACA deal. No joke, okay? They want DACA to be the family and friend plan, okay? That everybody gets attached to it. So no chain migration. The lottery system is revamped, totally revamped. I don't have time to go into that, but you should look up what the immigration lottery system is, okay? No connection for mom and dad to the Dreamers, all right? And Rand Paul, I think very strong money for our southern border. We don't have time to go into the southern border, but I will tell you this, okay? Put up that gang member. And we'll do this in a minute. Now, I don't know if this gentleman, why did I call him a gentleman? I don't know if this thug is from Mexico. But I know what this thug was. He was in Fannin County the other day. Now, he was being held, and we got the story. We're going to go over that. He's being held in Fannin County to transfer for transport to Beaufort, where he has warrants there. But this guy is a member, unmistakably, not alleged, because these gangs, and I'm going to tell you what gang it is, the most dangerous gang, cartel in Mexico, tied to a gang in Texas, you have to have certain markings. You have to have one marking that says you killed somebody in prison. Now, I understand, this is my understanding, we'll go through the story, that the only way to get in this gang and actually become a member is to prove you did kill somebody. I swear to God. I'm serious, okay? We did the research. We got the story. Fannin County. Fannin County. No, not Atlanta. No, not New York City. No, not rural America. Fannin County, folks. Wake up. You need to call your sheriff in Fannin County, your sheriff in Gilmer County, your sheriff in Pickens, your sheriff in Union. You need to call the city policeman. You need to call Johnny. You need to call everybody and ask, do you know this guy is here? Are there more? What business did this guy have in Fannin County? Just saying. I'm your host. We're going to talk more about. We have to have border funding for the wall and secure the border. We got to stop this, folks. I'm your host, BKP. I want to talk about what nobody's paying attention to. That's bigger. I think it's one of the biggest stories there is. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break, Sam.